What's going on, guys? It's Broseph. Hey, a few of you have asked how to do spirits. What's the best setup for spirits? I don't understand spirits. So I'm going to go over kind of what I think is optimal lineup for min-maxing and kind of your different options and why I think that way, okay? Go to spirits, obviously you have all your temples up here at the top. The biggest thing that I say, everybody's always worried about, well, I need ones that are a certain race or whatever else. Where you should start is looking at this left side and what you have. What I view as the most important, I don't use any of the ones that are the actual temple bonuses. So like the ones that boost the stats of the temple, because it doesn't directly boost your main stat. All right, it boosts the stat of some of these by a percentage, but it doesn't boost the main stat. If you look at this, see there is a right down here. It says convert worship stats. It doesn't matter if it's all dexterity, all int, all whatever in the temple. It will convert to whatever your main stat is. So this temple has all dexterity in it, right? But it converts to strength, which is my main stat when I'm a weapon master. The important part is you need all of the same kind in each temple. If you're doing PvE content and that's your goal, you want to focus on having humans or elves are the two classes. And that's because they have PvE power and PvE res for that. So if you look at that one, I think I have an elf one over here, and undead. I'm sorry, undead's the other one. See how this has crit res and PvE power? So PvE power is the focus, right? What I always say is start by, what I did is I took a spreadsheet and I wrote down all my different spirits over here, and I wrote down, okay, what's their stat, what class, so on and so forth, and then I sorted them based on that, okay? I always say start here. Start on this side. Ideally, you want to have one that is a race boost. So this one, the Dust Verdict boosts the leader of the humans, boosts the human stat, right? You want to have a legendary. Ideally, this one's not ideal because it has PvP power, but that's okay because your focus is two things. One, as a DPS, I want impact damage. Impact damage and impact level are the biggest damage dealers you can get in this game right now, okay? So impact damage and impact level, remember that. Yes, this other stuff's important, like the 127 main stat, but impact damage is really what I'm looking for here. Now, so the way that I always say to set these up is you want to have a legendary on each altar, okay? A legendary. Then you want to have that race benefit. So this one boosts the humans in the altar. And then you want to have a damage dealer. Now, this damage dealer, this is where things get a little tricky. I'm fortunate enough that I have all my damage dealers. So the Earl of Orlando, which has Shock Hammer. Let's see. Let me find another one. Right here. The Siren, which has, that kickback. All of mine have their power, their level of their skill at level 5. Now it takes a lot of these to get this to level 5. It is not easy to do that anymore. So I highly recommend, if you have this leveled at all, do not dismantle these because it's very important. Yes, I know this has PvP power. Yes, I got lucky and I got a triple stat with strength. But the most important part of these is the damage dealer, right? Is that race benefit. So this one, Shock Hammer, level 5. These all start at level 1. Now, some of these, like you can see in my first temple, I don't have a race or a damage dealer. So I ran a double legendary. See that? Double legendary right here. And then a race increase. So when you do that race increase, then the important part is you want to match. And again, this one is all dexterity in this temple. Right? I know this one doesn't have all dex on it. I'm not that worried about it. I've leveled the leader of the humans to level 3 by smelting the same ones together. I'll show you that in a second. But I've got 4, right, humans, all of which that have dex. All those have dex on them. And so that's the benefit, right? So again, when you don't have the ability to put a damage dealer, one of the old style spirits in, use 2 legendaries. Because you want that impact damage. It's very important. That impact damage is one of the most important things. Another thing that's important, while I'm here, we'll just do it, is smelting. As you can see, this one is only an S level rating right here. So you want to hit refine, and then you want to smelt this up into to get it to a double S because it increases the stats a lot. So I always do hit this guy, auto shuffle, and then we're going to let it go here. What we're looking at is this, and you'll see once this gets to 100%, you get an auto double S. All right, so see how the ultimate shuffle activated. So now I'll hit ultimate shuffle, and it automatically takes it to SS. You don't have to get all strength on all your temples or all int on all your temples. What I do is focus on having one of each in each temple, and it really is based on kind of these, again, what they start at. Like my, if we go back over here, right, I have to, this is a triple strength race benefit human, Dust Verdict, right? So obviously I'm going to do my best to get all the strength on and get this in a temple that has strength, right? So then I rolled this one that had triple strength. These don't matter because they've got all that together. So again, that focus is getting all the ones together. These all have strength on them, right? Getting them together in the same temple. As I said, this temple has Dex, right? My Eudora has strength. My Delos has spirit. Next one has int. So it doesn't matter. They all have something. Each temple is different, and that's okay because all the main stat will transfer over to whatever class you're in. So it doesn't matter. So this temple is another good example. So see how I have this impact lightning at level 5. Then I did a legendary right here and then a human. Now, realistically, you would like to have a legendary in this that is a human. See how it's an undead? You would like to have one that is a human because you're not getting the full benefit of the human buff on that undead. But, you know, what's more important is that it's got that PvE power. So I'm not really worried that much about it. You don't want to change it out. Like, let's say you get a human one that has PvP power, right? And if your focus is in-game content, you want PvE power. So kind of the way that I always prioritize what stats I'm looking for right now is impact level first and foremost, which raises the percentage of your impact proc, impact damage, then PvE power, and then either haste or main stat, depending on how much haste you have. This is a good example. We'll use this. So as I said on some of my other damage dealers, right, these are level 5, my skill, okay? This one is only level 1 that we were at. Where am I at here? Okay, the way that you level these up, these elemental destruction or whatever that may be, you go to upgrade and you have to slot the same type. So I need to get all elemental destructions. Now the hard part is these don't drop that often, and 2, it is percentage based by how many you put in. I've had it numerous times where I may get like 4 or 5 and I throw them in here and I hit, it has like a 70% chance to upgrade the skill and it fails. It's kind of like wings. And then you're out all those spirits and that kind of sucks. So what I say is wait till you get it to like 80 or 90%, then upgrade so you have a better chance. The chances of upgrading get harder and harder the further you get down the line. So when I say it's very important not to dismantle these or get rid of them just to level the legendaries, I mean that. Now, again, if you've already done that, it's not the end of the world. I wouldn't spend a ton of time and resources going back to get this. Just put in legendaries because of that impact damage. I want to show you why it's so important to use those old school ones versus all legendaries real quick. So I'm going to do a quick parse, and I'm going to show you the damage output that those spirits at level 5 give me. And it's how my tune is able to kind of keep up with some bigger tunes at times. Because of those benefits. So let's just... So check this out, right? If you look at this and you look at your different skills and what's proccing and what's giving you percentages, and you go down the bottom here, what's different about my setup is I just got all these at the bottom, like Lightning Shock, there's a Shivering Hammer in there, Power of the Tide, all these, right? So these are those extra damage dealers. And you can see 1% of damage. The Shivering Hammer ends up being 1%. The one that has the curse, which is the Undying or the Undead one, usually ends up being like 3% of my damage. All of those add up for me around 5 to 8% of my total damage. That's significant in the span of a boss fight, right? Because that's, if you think about opportunity attack is normally in the 8 to 12% range, 5 to 8% is a big increase. So that is kind of a rundown of the spirits. It's going to be different for everybody based on what you have saved. I always say if you get a spirit that is a double stat, don't eat it and give it to another spirit. Just save it. Save it and wait. If you have questions, comment below the video in Discord, and we can kind of go through them. But it is a very simple process. Don't overthink it. If you don't know, don't absorb the spirit. If you've got questions about it, let me know. But again, 3 things. Start with the spirits on the left, right? Start with these guys over here on the left. Then once you get those all set up, so you got ones that have dexterity that you match those in a temple, then you get the dexterity ones on the right, right? It's a process. It's not immediate. It takes time. But that is, you have to set the base up, which is these, before you can start doing these over here. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. If you have questions, comment below or let me know.